So look at this. I'm at the very edge of the tent and I can stand up. There is loads of headroom. Look at this. That's probably 7.5 feet tall right here at the peak. Even at the bottom of the tubes, that's probably 7 feet or more. This, if you're looking for a unique, easy setup camping tent, glamping tent, go to Amazon, put this in your cart. $179? Are you kidding me? That is absolutely crazy for what you're getting in this tent. So anyway, this tent is, I haven't really got a whole lot of information on it, other than where I purchased it from on Amazon. I'm going to leave a link down in the description below. But it shows a few pictures and things, and it tells you dimensions, but it's really kind of vague. So I'm not sure what this tent is going to look like. I've never set it up before, never even got it out of the bag. So you're going to be setting it up with me for the very first time. It's supposed to be 4 to 6 people. It's supposed to be, you know, a pretty good sized tent. So we shall see. Let's go take a look at it. It's on the tailgate of the truck here. So right here, WXPSKY, WXPSKY. It is going to be a black tent. It is an inflatable tent. All right, let's get this big tent set up. Well, I guess it's a big tent. We're going to find out. Let's set it up. I brought this tarp from another inflatable tent. It was a 7x10 and it had a little bit of space left. I think this tarp is a 10x10. I'm not sure. It might be a 10x12 or 13. I can't remember. But this tent, the whole footprint is taking up the whole part of this tarp. We're going to use it as a ground tarp. So we got it. There's 2 valves, one on this corner, one on that corner over there. And I closed that one up. We're attached to here. I don't know if you got to do this side and it blows something up, and then you got to do that one and blow something up, or you just got 2 options. We're going to find out. So it's supposed to be between 6 to 8 psi. That's going to give us our loft here for our tent. So we shall see. I'm also counting how many pumps. I'm on 17 right now. Starting to see some shape here where the tubes are. I'm at 30 pumps. I think there was just 2 valves. Let me double check. Usually the valves will be at a corner. I think that's all we have is the 2 valves. I don't guess it really matters which one you pump into. There's a silver arrow here on this corner. Like I said, I just don't know a whole lot about this tent. Kind of exciting. Well, let's keep on going. We're at 30. I'm at 50. I don't know. This one has a separate valve here. Maybe I'll try inflating that side instead. See, I think it should have started coming up here already. But this just may be a larger tent than I'm thinking. And it's just going to take more pumps. Well, let's try this side. I do have a battery operated big pump that will blow this thing up fairly quickly, but I wanted to use the pump that it came with, the hand pump, and see, you know, what it's going to take to set up our new tent. So we're at 50. We're at 70. It's starting to move. I think it's just 2. You have an option between this side or that side. And that one has an extra, some kind of valve on it or something. All right, we're at 70. All right, we're at 90. So just in case you're wondering, this does have a safety valve in it. You can't overinflate this. So when it gets to the pressure point, it'll start just coming out that valve, and or it'll start coming out of the pump. It's like a safety check valve. We're just gonna kind of unpretzel stuff here and see if anything happens. I think I said we were at 90. Oh, this is gonna be a big 10, isn't it? Wow, this is pretty impressive so far. It's definitely a lot larger than this tarp. So we may have to get a larger tarp for this at some point. I'm gonna put a few more pumps into there and just kind of farm it up. And we're gonna take a look around. All right, it's starting to go out the pressure valve now. So I think 100 pumps and we're done. All right, let's take a quick look here. So it looks like we can open up every side, enter some roof vents, and look at there is a stove jack. I didn't even know this had a stove jack to it. Wow. Nice floor. So it looks like you can zip off the floor if you want and just have this as a structure. Very interesting. This is very interesting. So we do have a PVC window, a clear plastic window. Maybe that's what this arrow is for. There's a little silver arrow there. Maybe that's the side where we put that clear window in. Not sure. I'm thinking it is because I see some screen right there. That looks like a solid panel. This has screen on it as well. I'm not sure. That might have a screen on it. Does this have a screen? Okay. Okay, so I think this is our optional wall here where we could put the clear plastic window or just a screen on here. I'm not sure. All right, I'm gonna figure it out. We'll come back. Oh, there's some roof vents. Huh. I think we're gonna find a lot of cool stuff about this tent that, like I said, there was not a whole lot of information. I have not been able to find a whole lot of information on this tent at all. So, lucky y'all, you get to figure it out with me. All right, we're gonna figure this out. All right, here it is. I got it all figured out. This is the front entrance. So it's like a big awning foyer type of thing here. So these side panels here zip up as well, and you can tie them back, I guess, too. I just got them zipped down to the sides. But this is our front entrance. Big, huge door there. And it comes with these tarp poles. Comes with all the ground stakes you need and guy lines. There is guy lines galore on this thing. So I got all four corners guy lined, but there's also an additional guy lines for here, there, and there on each side all the way around. So here is a sort of a gusset window. So you can unzip it and there is a bug mesh back behind it there. So keep out the bugs, skeeters, and all that stuff, and allow some airflow in there, and it'll keep the rain off because we're able to tie it out with some guy lines. Very nice. We got two big roof vents. We got those open. Got out over here. This thing is huge. This is pretty big. I'm guessing it's 10 by 10. I didn't bring a tape measure, but I do wear size 12. Maybe we'll go in there and step it off. But so this back wall here, so this is the opposing the front door. It is solid screen, or you got a solid panel there to zip up. So if the weather gets bad, you can zip that up and keep out the rain and stuff. Or if you're trying to keep it warmer in there. And like I said, that floor in there zips on and off. And that zipper is up a few inches there. So that does create a good bathtub style floor in there. This is really, really cool. I can't wait to get inside and see how the tube structure is. So I was right, there are 2 valves, and they tell you to inflate over here at this one, which was the second one that I did, or maybe it was the other one. So I did spin the tent around because I wanted my door facing my truck. So yeah, it does say inflation valve right there. All right, let's look at this this off the sidewall over here. This is where our solid PVC clear panel. So it zips in, and then it's Velcro all the way across the bottom, so you can keep out bugs and everything like that. And it'll hold in your heat if you're wanting to. So that allows you to maintain heat inside here and keep out the bugs and have a nice clear window out here to that, your camp area. So the roof vent over here is open. So more guy out points. I mean, this tent's not going to go anywhere. And this thing's pretty solid with those air columns. Very, very nice. I might have to get some lights to put in there so we can see when we get in there. It looks pretty dark. So here we are inside. That's looking out the front door there. It is pretty dark in here. So there's a light that I put in. There is another hook here. And there's another hook over there. There's another hook here. I'm not sure what all these little hooks are for, but here is a storage pocket. There's another one over there. So this is looking at our gusset window here. So you can unzip this whole thing here and just have it all open. And then there would be no bug mesh if you didn't have bugs to worry about. There's just so many options with this thing. There's our fireplace port. So let's take a look at these tubes here. So they just kind of crisscross. Makes a really good solid structure. So there's our clear window wall. Is that cool or what? So that solid panel there just rolls up out of the way, and you can zip that up even with the plastic window in there. So that way you don't have to replace it. You can just keep it there, and then if you want to, you can close that up at night or something like that. And there's our solid mesh panel wall. So we are getting a little bit of a breeze through here. This is kind of catching a little bit of breeze and bringing it in right through here. This is pretty nice. So look at this. I'm at the very edge of the tent and I can stand up. There is loads of headroom. Look at this. That's probably 7.5 feet tall right here at the peak. Even at the bottom of the tubes, that's probably 7 feet or more. If you're looking for a unique, easy setup camping tent, glamping tent, man, click that link down below and check this thing out, man. I think the last time I looked, they were sold out, but they might be restocking here pretty soon. Go to Amazon, put this in your cart. $179? Are you kidding me? That is absolutely crazy for what you're getting in this tent. You know, it is black, but it's like a double layer black material. So the outer material is kind of a Oxford, man, I don't know. I'll put it on the screen here what it is. But the inside is a solid black panel. So that is blocking out UV rays and the sun. So it's, I think I'm gonna close this up and see how much light is coming through even in the daylight. Let's do that next. I gotta cool down here and get me a drink. We're gonna do that next. This is cool. All right, we got everything closed up. I forgot to close this roof vent up here. Oh well. We'll have a little bit of roof vent light coming through. But I'm gonna close this up and we're gonna see how dark it is. This should be pretty dang dark. Yeah, this blocks out all the sunlight except for that roof vent. So if I had that closed, I don't know if you can even see that. I'm gonna turn this light on. It is dark in here. See if I can find the light. All right, there we go. Wow. So if you wanted to sleep in and the sun not wake you up, I mean, you can do that if that's what you want. This tent is amazing. I got the tent set up like how we had it before we tested out to see how dark it was in there. It was dark in there. So even on this awning right here, it's a double layer. And all the seams are heat tape sealed. And it's waterproof material on the floor and the outer part of the tent. So this is going to be a nice tent this is a 4-season tent, so you can use this any time of the year. I think it's going to be a great winter tent, especially with that stove jack. I've got a nice fireplace that could go in there. We could also use our diesel heater. We could just put our hose up in that stove jack port and just heat this with our diesel heater. Oh, so I didn't tell you, the opposing wall of this front door, that whole zipper wall unzips too. So if you want to have that completely unzipped and out of the way, I think this thing is really, it's a multi-purpose tent. So we have it configured as, you know, a camping tent where we're going to be staying in, keeping bugs and things out. But I think you can use this like a gazebo style. Like I said, you can unzip that floor. This whole screen panel zips up. You can roll this out of the way. You can roll this out of the way. That wall comes off. This wall comes off. That back wall doesn't completely detach, but it does zip down and you can roll it up out of the way. So you can have it completely open on all sides if you want. And place it over a picnic table if you want. So this is a very, very versatile tent. Very impressed with it. There's one. There's the second one.